Hey, welcome to Watch Candy. I'm so glad you've joined in for this episode. I, like most of you who are into watches, have a list of watches just floating around in my brain. Watches that I like to admire from afar, or will Google, add them to cart, and then abandon them, or just pine over them. They're the watches that I either want and can't afford, or the watches that I just haven't really gotten around to buying yet for whatever reason. I know you know what I'm talking about. So today I've brought 5 of those watches. Yes, there are more, but these are like the main 5. And I'd like to tell you why I like them, and maybe a little bit of why I haven't bought them yet. Although the last 2 I just can't afford. I think these watches give you a really good overview of my personal taste in watches, so without further ado, let's jump right in. The first and least expensive watch on this list is this watch from Daniel Gorman. As you can see, it is definitely an H. Moser & Co. homage, which means that it is very, very closely based on an H. Moser & Co. Streamliner. However, you can see that there's a lot of differences, and yeah, most of those differences are because that watch right now only costs $148. Considering that I'll probably never be able to buy an actual H. Moser Streamliner, I think this is a good way to enjoy that watch from afar. And like a handful of watch brands on AliExpress, this watch seems to be decently well made. So why haven't I pulled the trigger yet? Well, $148 is still $148. And although H. Moser and the Streamliner specifically are my favorite watches of all time, and I'm sure I would wear this watch a ton because of that, I don't know, I'm just afraid that it'll arrive and I'll wear it twice and then just never again. The next watch on my list is the Brew Metric. I am absolutely certain you've heard of this watch, at least if you were into watches like a year or 2 ago. When this watch got on the scene, it was chaos, and it's been a big part of micro brands ever since. I've seen this watch in person. I adore everything about it. It's just such a fun watch, and it's very well made, especially for the price, which is $475, so not unreasonable. And the watch comes in all sorts of different colors with slight variations on the dial, even a smaller non-chronograph version. I really have no excuse for not having one of these. I personally just like the classic original retro style Brew Metric with the orange, the yellow, and the turquoise. If you haven't noticed, I like a lot of colors, except I really do not like the Super Metric. What is that? But why haven't I bought this watch? It's kind of the same as the Daniel Gorman. I just can't commit to the $475. I don't know what it is. I know it's worth the price. I know I will absolutely adore wearing that watch and that it'll get lots of wrist time. But at least where I'm at financially, $475 is a considered purchase. And every time I try and consider it, it just doesn't quite make sense. But who knows, maybe one day I'll end up pulling the trigger on it. This next watch is the watch that inspired me to make this video. This is the Zodiac Super Seawolf automatic skeleton with the rainbow bezel. It's definitely not for everyone's taste, and that is okay with me because it is to my taste and that's what I like. It's got a Swiss skeletonized automatic movement with a custom blue rotor, all packaged up in the classic Zodiac Super Seawolf package, and then with cherry on top, it's got the most wild and playful rainbow bezel I have ever seen. It's gaudy, it's crazy, but it still works. This watch was over $2,000 at retail. It's long since been discontinued, and now you can buy it on eBay. I've been looking at it for around $1,400 to $1,600, and that is still so much money for me. And I guess I will just have to keep looking at this watch and admiring it from afar. For the last 2 watches, we've gone from probably shouldn't buy to definitely cannot buy territory. And this next watch is one that I have wanted and loved for longer than I've really been into watches. This is the Rolex GMT-Master II Root Beer. There's just something so unbelievably gorgeous about that two-tone with the ever rose gold and then that brown and black GMT bezel. If I had an unlimited budget to spend on Rolex and I wasn't allowed to buy the Rainbow Daytona, I would absolutely probably pick this one next. I remember the first time I ever went into a Rolex boutique, which was probably not long after I learned of the existence of mechanical watches. I remember talking to the salesperson and flipping through the catalog and seeing this watch and just knowing that I loved it. But ever since that moment, this watch will always be one of my dream watches. And at a retail price of $19,600, it will probably always stay that way. But for a bonus watch, one that I could realistically afford one day, I absolutely love the lavender colored Oyster Perpetual. Would buy. But as for the rest of you who are able to own this root beer GMT, you lucky mother... Last but absolutely not least, in fact, 100% objectively the best, is any Streamliner from H. Moser & Co. Yes, that's correct. I would be happy with any single one. Any color, any material, skeletonized, not skeletonized, tourbillon, sapphires, even ceramic now, you can't go wrong with one of these. These are the pinnacle dream watch for me. And at prices from about 22,000 Swiss francs all the way up to about 160,000 Swiss francs, they will always be way out of reach. But I love just looking at them. To me, they are the perfect watches. I am honestly satisfied just knowing that somewhere out there they exist in the world. Anyway, that's it for this episode. It's been a long time since I've done just a very classic list style video, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. It was fun to make this video. I love dreaming about watches, and I imagine you guys too, so let me know down in the comments what watches you've just been pining over. While you're down there, subscribe to join Watch Candy. I would absolutely love to have you. If you know anyone who wants to maybe get rid of an H. Moser watch and doesn't really want to sell it for any amount of money and could potentially send it my way, let me know, and I will see you guys next time.